In this video, we're going to go over the top YouTube channels that you should be subscribed to if you're into combat martial arts like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, wrestling, MMA, or even Sambo. Welcome back to Jiu-Jitsu Outlet. My name's Paul Tokizolu. I'm making this video because some of the students here at the Jiu-Jitsu Outlet Academy were asking me about what sorts of videos they should be watching in between classes. So I wanted to make this video for them, but also for you to help you all out. So the first channel that you should subscribe to is this one. So go check out Jiu-Jitsu Outlet. But the thing about our channel, there's me again. Thing about this channel is we don't really talk a whole lot about the techniques. So Jiu-Jitsu Outlet is about how martial arts like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu help your mental health and your life off the mats. But we don't really get into talking about the actual techniques. So go ahead and hit subscribe on this channel so you never miss a video. But I want to show you some of the other channels that you should also be hitting subscribe on. So we're going to start off with what I'd say is definitely the number one if you're into jiu-jitsu, if you're into grappling really at all. Didn't mean to type Craig Jones there, but flow grappling. So flow grappling is really like the HQ of all Brazilian jiu-jitsu submission grappling sort of stuff. That you can get a subscription on Flow Grappling. I have one. It's pretty legit, but their YouTube channel has so much freaking good stuff. So you can watch a lot of the Daisy Fresh documentary on here. So they've got, you can just go here to the playlist and you can check out stuff like that. Like, I don't know where Daisy Fresh is here. Yeah, right here. Daisy Fresh is really good. It's one of my favorite things that they put out. But you just can also see a whole lot of really good competition video, highlight videos, and they get into some of the techniques as well. But mostly flow grappling is all about following the very best in the world, like Gordon Ryan, Luke Griffith, Lucas Barboza, all these like really big names in jiu-jitsu, and showing either their competition matches or their training, or maybe some sort of a behind the scenes sort of thing. Like this one, for instance, I was a really big fan of this video. They put up basically Jacob Couch's entire run recently at the ADCC trials. This is some really high level stuff and super valuable of them to release this for free. So this is the kind of stuff that I really enjoy binging and watching, is just highlights of the best in the world doing their thing. Like Jacob Couch going for straight ankle lock right here and diving for that heel hook, trying to get the submission. So this is some really cool stuff. And again, really high level jiu-jitsu, right? So this is kind of the highest level of jiu-jitsu. You can also check out Flow Wrestling. Flow has basically, they've kind of cornered the market on grappling and on a lot of these different combat sports, but also a lot of niche sports in general. Flow is kind of getting into. So they're also into wrestling. So you can definitely go check out Flow Wrestling as well. They've got basically the same thing. You can watch the best wrestlers in the world getting after it, competing, training, etc., etc. So really great. Go check out Flow if you haven't already. Go check out Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu. This is one of my favorite channels, especially if you are a beginner in Jiu-Jitsu. So Jordan Pressinger is the man, really high level black belt and high level Jiu-Jitsu instructor. And he just makes a lot of videos that kind of go over, I guess I don't want to say the basics because he definitely gets into some more advanced stuff as well. But it's very principle based, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like he teaches a lot about the principles of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I actually interviewed Jordan on Jiu-Jitsu Outlet and we talked about this exact thing. So you can go check that out. Jordan's been on the show twice, actually. He came on to share his story and talk about mental health. And then we did kind of a part 2 where he came on and talked all about the principles of jiu-jitsu. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. But Jordan's a super cool dude, very nice guy, he's very well spoken, and he's an excellent teacher. So highly recommend you check out his channel. He's got some really cool stuff. One of the things that I really like about Jordan's channel is he does a lot of live rolls, and he shows himself rolling a lot, and he'll do a lot of commentary. So it's really cool to see him not just teaching the technique, but also using it in the video. So he just is really good at kind of breaking down not just the techniques themselves, but then he'll also have a lot of footage of him actually hitting the technique in the roll. So you can see what he's talking about. He's not just demonstrating what it looks like against a against someone who's not resisting, but he also does a lot where he's showing you live basically, or he'll hit it during a roll and he'll talk about it there. Oh, hey, he's telling you to subscribe. Just I picked a great part of this video. Yeah, definitely subscribe to Jordan's channel. So check out Jordan's channel. I'll put all the links down below to all these different things that I'm talking about. You definitely want to go binge on this channel. Okay, up next for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu channels, you got to be subscribed to. Definitely check out Less Impressed, More Involved BJJ. This is some more advanced stuff. So if you're looking for something that's super advanced, this is definitely the place to be. So this dude, I forget what his name is. He just does very like high level breakdowns. He gets into that next level about what is the coach telling the athlete during the match, or what are different ways that they might be setting this technique up or faking it, or different things like that. It's just a very high level analysis. So if you're into that, definitely go check out Less Impressed, More Involved. But be warned, definitely, I'd say it's a little bit more advanced. And if you're really new, it might be a little over your head, or you might feel a little bit lost. So just know that this is some advanced stuff that this guy goes over. And if you're looking for something a little more basic, check out Jordan's channel. Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu. I'd say that's definitely the best spot if you are a brand new beginner. Up next, definitely go check out the Scotty P Breakdown. My friend Scotty P hosts this, a good buddy of mine. And he just has, again, a lot of different breakdowns of different videos. And he's also got a podcast of his own. So he's talked to a lot of high-level guys. Like here, he's sitting down with Keith Krikorian and Chris Wojcik, who are two of the top guys in the world. I really love this video that he did, these different breakdown videos where he kind of broke down the entire West Coast trials and the East Coast trials and whatnot. So really a big fan of these. Scotty also does a ton of shorts. So he's got a lot of different shorts that you can check out. And he's also got a really active Instagram. And the best thing about his channel, I'd say, is it's just very easy to watch. Like it's very entertaining. He's a very entertaining guy. And you can learn a lot just by watching these shorts. So if you're into watching shorts versus like a longer form video, definitely go check out Scotty. So yeah, there's the breakdown of that cool leg lock that Jake Couch was hitting earlier in this video. So Scotty has also been on Jiu-Jitsu Outlet twice, once to share his story, and then another time we spoke about just kind of how to get better at Jiu-Jitsu. Scotty actually has an app that you can download for free. So this was when he first launched his app. I had him on to kind of talk about accelerated learning and his goals with the app, because really his vision is about using artificial intelligence to get better at jiu-jitsu. So definitely go check out that episode. Check out Scotty P and everything he's doing. So I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time watching wrestling, judo, MMA. I don't just watch jiu-jitsu. I know there's a ton more jiu-jitsu channels out there, but those ones that I just listed are my favorites. And now we're going to transition into talking about other martial arts like judo, wrestling, MMA, etc. So these are my favorite channels for those. So let's talk about judo first. Although Chatty also talks about wrestling, talks about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido, a lot of other different martial arts. So Chatty, wonderful channel, really great dude. He came on the podcast back in the day before it was on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you'll have to go over here to Spotify or something like that. But we spoke on the 17th episode of the podcast. So I'll put a link down below if you want to hear that episode. Chatty came and shared his story. But what we're going to be talking about here is this dude's channel. He does a lot with martial arts history, and he also does a lot with comparing judo against other martial arts, because Chatty he's a judo guy. I think he's also an Aikido black belt. And most of his videos are on the history of the martial arts and on the history specifically of judo and of grappling. And but he gets into a lot of really cool stuff. Like, for example, he analyzes other martial arts like Shao Zhu and shows like grappling techniques from them. This one here for the might of Georgian judo, like he analyzes different judo styles from around the world, which I think is super cool. So I really like that in his videos, he uses a lot of old footage. I don't even know where he gets a lot of it from, but I imagine it takes quite a lot of time to put some of these videos together. But I absolutely love the work that he does. And like in this one, for example, he's looking at old Chinese wrestling, basically, and talking about how these moves are similar to moves that we see in judo or in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I love martial arts history and learning about like where these martial arts come from, learning about what did it look like back in the day when people were training this stuff. In his videos, he kind of analyzes the old school techniques that he finds in history books or in different like manuals that are discovered in different parts of the world, and then he'll analyze how that technique is still being used today. So very interesting stuff. Again, if you're into history of the martial arts, but just to be clear, he doesn't talk just about the history, also does these different comparisons, like for example, judo versus Senegalese wrestling, kind of talks about how these martial arts are similar and how they're also very different. Definitely check out Chatty if you're interested in that. Chatty doesn't talk as much about the techniques of judo or competition judo as much as this guy, Judo Highlights. So again, I don't really know what this guy's name is, but he's been making this channel for a very long time. This is one of the bigger channels in judo, and for a very good reason. What he does is he basically finds all of the recent judo tournaments, like the European Judo Championships, for example, and he'll watch the match and he'll do commentary. So this is kind of how his channel is set up, where he'll take the best parts of the tournament and he'll splice it up into a highlight clip, and he'll always show it at full speed, and then he'll slow it down and play it back again. And he's kind of just doing commentary the whole time. But it's a really great way, first of all, to learn some more judo. But also it's just very enjoyable. Like honestly, the format that he has it set up in, I would rather watch this than watch the actual tournament, just because he takes out all the stalling, you know. So if you're kind of ADD like me and it's hard for you to pay attention sometimes, this is some really good stuff, because again, it's just taking like the highlights, the best part of the matches, and splicing it all together and then adding in some commentary so you can actually learn something and you can kind of pay attention to what's happening. One thing that I'll say about this channel is you got to understand some of the judo nomenclature and some of the ways that people talk about judo, like ippon, wazari, shido. You know, he just throws Japanese words out there like crazy. So if you've never watched judo before, you might be a little confused at what he's talking about because you don't know how the points are, because in judo it's all in Japanese. You know, like the throws are in Japanese, but also the points are also in Japanese. So ippon is 1 point, wazari is half a point, shido is a penalty, stuff like that. So if you don't understand some of that, then you'll be kind of lost. But you can look that up on Google, or you could just be lost and just watch cool judo. But you see a lot of slick takedowns on this channel for sure. So if you're into that, if you're into watching judo, definitely go check out Judo Highlights. Up next, I want to talk about Welcome Mat Steve Scott. So this is a great judo channel if you're interested in kind of the fundamentals of judo. These guys actually have a judo school here in Missouri where I live. It's a couple hours away, and I think they're up in Kansas City, but I've always wanted to go and train them. I train with them. I've been watching their channel for probably about a year or two, and just have really great technical breakdowns. These guys post videos almost every single day. They also do Sambo. It's this older gentleman here who kind of runs the channel. That's Steve Scott. And he's got a couple of black belts who also show different moves on this channel. But really, it's just a great channel if you want to just kind of learn the basics of judo. If you want to learn how all the different moves are set up, they've got videos on every single throw, very detailed breakdown, and they go over every single part of the throw. So if you're interested in judo, if you want to learn every single detail of these throws, definitely check out Welcome Mat and their channel here. Great channel, and it's almost like just a library. I mean, you can see they've got 2,600 videos on here. So quite a few. They've been making videos for 13 years, almost every single day, which is crazy. Definitely check this out. They've got even like full Sambo courses. This one's like 2.5 hours long. So again, watching this channel feels kind of like you're going to judo school or going to judo college. I really like the vibe. I've never been to their academy, but it reminds me of the place where I trained at in college, the Golden Dragon. It kind of looked a lot like this. Just from an aesthetic perspective. So really dig their channel. Definitely check it out. If you're interested in watching wrestling, like I said, check out Flow Wrestling, but you're also going to want to check out this channel, Instant Ars Vita. They do a lot of really cool highlights. So I'll put this down below, but They just do a ton of really cool highlight videos. And I love how they make the video, if that makes sense. Like, again, I'm all about things being entertaining. And these guys, they always just, the way that they cut it up is very cool. And they slow things down. They add in some cool effects, and they just have a really cool, I guess, vibe to the video. Kind of like that Judo highlights video that I was just talking about. He does a really good job of splicing it up and making it interesting to watch. So definitely check out Instant Ars Vita if you're into watching some big wrestling throws and seeing some cool stuff. Okay, up next, if you're into watching wrestling, check out United World Wrestling. This is a great channel. This is kind of like the official Olympic wrestling channel, basically. And they've actually been doing a whole lot of new stuff on here. I think they're trying to kind of compete with Flow to some extent, which I'm a little confused by, because I feel like Flow Wrestling is very similar to this, but they do a great job as being that alternative. So they've got some great highlight videos on here, but they also have a lot of full matches. So if you're interested in watching full matches, if you're interested in seeing some of the best in the world do their thing, definitely check out United World Wrestling. So let's check out one of their videos here. So like I was saying, here we've got a full match, right? So if you don't want to watch highlights and you want to just watch the full match, this is definitely the channel for you. Moving on. Okay, so I feel like this kind of goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Definitely check out the UFC YouTube channel. This is moving into MMA now, so they have so much good stuff on the UFC YouTube channel. You can binge this for days. Got free fights with the best in the world, like Khabib versus Justin Gaethje right here. They've got Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor. Like, they're always putting up different free fights on here. Like, here's Khabib's debut. You can learn so much about grappling just from watching Khabib or watching some of these guys who are the very best in the world, like John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. We got that whole fight here. So these are literally like, clinics basically in grappling. If you're not subscribed to the UFC YouTube channel, you're missing out. So definitely go check this out. Up next for MMA, you definitely got to check out Anatomy of a Fighter. So this guy, Will Harris, he goes around and he basically embeds with different UFC fighters. Like, for example, he's embedded with Khabib. He's embedded with Islam Makhachev. He's embedded with a lot of guys from around the world. I think he just did one with the Sugar Sean. And he's got a lot of really great videos. And these videos are just super, super high quality. Like, here he's got Kamaru Usman versus Hamza Chimaev, for instance. I don't think I've seen this one yet. But yeah, his videos are very story based. They kind of put you into the behind the scenes, right? I mean, that's really what it's about with this channel, is the anatomy of the fighter. What are they doing outside of the ring to prepare themselves for the fight? What are they doing inside of their training sessions? How are they eating? How are they spending their time? Who do they hang out with? All that good stuff. So definitely check out Anatomy of a Fighter. It's super popular. So if you're watching this, you might have already heard of this channel, but very great channel. Really good stuff. And you get to see kind of their character. You get to see what makes this person so unique. Okay, we're going to go back to wrestling for a second. You really need to check out DBS Breakdowns. So this is a channel that I've just learned so much from. This dude has been making videos for a very long time. And it's another one where he kind of analyzes and breakdowns different wrestling matches. But he just does it at a very high level. And I've learned so much from watching this dude's channel. Just a few more that I felt like I would be remiss to mention. I was editing this video and I was like, man, what about some of these? First of all, not a jiu-jitsu channel, but shout out to my friend Aaron Hale and his podcast Point of Impact, which is right here. Check out this guy. He's freaking awesome. Check out also Daisy Fred. Basically, these guys, they were training in a laundromat, and they ended up becoming one of the greatest jiu-jitsu teams on the planet. And check out their YouTube channel, Daisy Fresh. And we just did an episode actually with Josh Murdoch that dropped a couple weeks ago, so you can check it out on the channel. But he's one of the guys who trains up with them. They're one of the greatest teams on earth, and they have an amazing YouTube channel. tons of content. They've got sparring footage. They've got competition footage. They have techniques. They have motivational videos. They've got unique videos like this time that they had a fight breakout after class because two guys got in a disagreement. That video went pretty viral. Huge, lot of great videos on this channel, so I encourage you to check it out. Gotta see Patrick Gavia's channel. This guy, in my opinion, has the best documentaries about MMA fighters. Again, not a whole lot of technique here, but just amazing stories. So these videos are freaking awesome. Some of them, like you've seen, have gone pretty viral. He also did a video about Dana White. He did a video about the guy who runs One Championship. And I really love this guy's content. It's really, really high quality. This video he did about Francis Ngannou is probably my favorite. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. I won't spoil it for you too much, but this guy's channel is freaking awesome. Love his videos. I'm going to put links to him and everyone else down below, so make sure you check out Patrick Gavia. Big fan of the B Team Jiu-Jitsu channel. If you haven't checked these guys out yet, they're another one of the greatest Jiu-Jitsu teams on the planet. And man, their channel's hilarious. They've got just about everything on here and just tons of great content. They got podcasts. They've got technique videos. They've got rolling videos. They've got tournament footage. They got all sorts of cool stuff. So check it out. B Team, you definitely don't want to miss this one. One of my favorite wrestling channels is Kerry Colott. Multiple time Olympic champion, world champion. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. And this guy just has so many freaking videos. It's crazy. He's got almost 2,000 videos here, and they're all very similar. Basically just him showing you different throws, different setups, and different stuff. He's been making them for 14 years. And it's crazy because it almost seems, his channel very interesting because it almost seems like him and a buddy met up one day, or maybe over a course of a couple days, like 15 years ago, and they just filmed thousands of videos, and he just been posting them for years, from the same session. Because a lot of the videos you'll see, they're almost identical, and they go back years, which is crazy. Like his oldest video, we're going from oldest to newest, and they all look the same. So I'm trying to figure out if I should try to get a hold of him and try to ask him this, but I'm trying to figure out, is he reposting the same videos like from years, or is legitimately every single video unique? Because honestly, I don't feel like I've ever seen the same video twice. But this is a fascinating channel for multiple reasons, not only the techniques, but also just the method of creation, because it's literally, like you can see here, the same session. Amazing techniques, and every single video I think is unique, unless I could be mixing up. Like, comment below if you know the answer here. I'll try to get Kerry Colott on the podcast and I can ask him myself, because I'm interested. Like, is he literally just, like, how long did this take to film 1,800 videos that are relatively similar? I mean, not similar because they're different techniques, but they were obviously filmed during the same period of time. And like, man, that's mad respect to Kerry Colott for his YouTube channel. It's like, it's such an amazing library, and it's like, it's just never ending. There's always new videos getting posted, and I just love it. Sometimes I just go and binge, and I find that once again, there's so much new stuff that has been put out. So maybe Kerry Colott and his friend figured out a way to pause time for like an infinite amount, and they just drilled. And maybe that's how he got so good. He knows how to pause time and drill. And Kerry Colott, maybe if you could, if you're watching this, come on the podcast and reveal your secrets. All right, everyone. I think that's all I'm going to do for now. If you like this style of video, oh, there's my cat. If you like this style of video, right below, I can do more of these. Shout out to Connor Price as well. If you're not checking this guy out on YouTube, you got to check him out. Yeah, right below what you thought about this, right below your favorite channels. And again, if you know the secret to how Kerry Colott makes his YouTube videos, let me know.